Wow. Hello, goodbye. Hello again. Starfish? Were we not just at the seaside? It's very watery. So, which is great. So let's talk about this. First of all, starfish energy equates to that of the lover's key in the tarot. Gemini energy, which is about love-based choices and inner and outer duality and alignment. So here's what's really interesting with this. Starfish energy with the Gemini connection is we are coming out of Gemini season, right? And going into what in the second half of July? Into Cancer season. So interestingly enough, the Cancer aspect of this is really funny because I was just about to say, Cancer season is very much about this time of year where it's, for a lot of us, it's that summer energy, that summer break for the kids. It's that time where we kind of go, okay, let me just let me recalibrate. Let me enjoy this time where the days are still long and, time to be outdoors and, all of this A, B, C, X, Y, Z, things that we do, right? So it's interesting that we're looking at this Gemini energy here in the form of the starfish, but it's kind of carrying us over into this Cancer season with being, on the sea. And we were just, at the ocean with the ship in a bottle. So another aspect of starfish energy here, outside of the lover's connection, is also wish fulfillment because it is a star. Are we not the star key in the tarot? And then Aquarius star looking at a starfish. So it's really, it's really interesting because there's also, I'm feeling this. I've never gotten this before when I've pulled this, but of course this would come to me for the first time in an Aquarius reading. In a way, this feels like it's also really Aquarian energy because if you think about it, we are the water bearers, which means that we stand on Earth, breathing in the air, right? But we hold water. Much like the stars are in the sky and the fish are in the sea. I love it. But starfish, there's an aspect of wish fulfillment to this. And it's interesting how we were talking about manifesting and how sometimes we are able to achieve more by doing less. It's really interesting. And I cannot say this enough. There's an aspect of this coming through that is really asking you to honor your soul's call and move. Oh, okay. I have to show you something this happening in real time, y'all. I have this journal here. I journal every day. It's part of my practice and my number one key to mental health. But I have this journal here and I drew this picture on it recently and I didn't even think about it. Look at this. Can you see that? It's not the best. I just kind of doodled. But anyway, it's a star over a ship with a heart on it. And then starfish is lover's energy in the tarot, on the sea. How weird is that? I was just I just looked over it and I was like, oh, wow. Anyway, I do feel like there's an aspect of this to honor the soul's calling at any given time, not to push yourself too much in one direction. It's that aspect of what would the wild self do with where the wild things are? What would the wild self do if you came up out of your mind or out of your obligations or your time commitments or your here, there, whatever's? What's the wild aspect of you asking for during this time period? It feels incredibly important somehow. See what's going on. Right. Right. This is feeling, yeah. So first of all, we have the Hermit here. So in the weekly readings, which I do on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, if you want to check those out, you might want to because I feel like this is related. All that is in the description box below. But we've been getting this as an overall energy for the weeklies for the past couple of weeks. So interesting. Hermit, Virgo energy. Now, this is also another major arcana, making this the second major arcana in this reading because that's the lover's key, yeah? So then we have the Hermit. Major arcanas denote destined or fated events or times in our lives. It's not arbitrary, right? It's quite important. It's significant in some way. Now, the Hermit energy is very much about going inside of ourselves to ask those deep philosophical questions. It's about the questions. It's about really taking that time to go inside for deep reflection, right? Now, what's really interesting here, how it's depicted in this key is a spider here, right? Now, a spider is a symbol for writers. So the totem for writers, right, is the spider. It's really interesting that it's like we're playing like a game of like figure out the puzzle or clue or something in these readings, but I'm so here for it. And this is why it never gets old. It's just like let's piece it together, together. So what's interesting is that I saw the image on my journal, which is what I write in every single day, right? And then we have the totem of the writer coming up here. I do feel like writing or something that you've created that is something to do with like your own touch or your own creation or your own voice, POV, point of view, your vision, something specific to your genius is coming through here in some way. You know, with this hermit energy here as well, did I not say sometimes by doing less, we achieve more? That is hermit energy all day long. It's like, if you allow me to go up to this mountaintop and be within myself, like you're going to get a lot more out of me, and I'll get a lot more from myself when I come out of it. Now, traditionally speaking, the hermit is holding a lantern in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. And in that lantern is what? The star from the star key. Why is this all connecting together? Do you know, I see like a board, like in those cop shows where they have all like the pieces of the mystery and they have the red string that are like tying each bit together. That's what I see in my mind with this. It's really fascinating. It's all very connected, which is another aspect. I'm just like, ugh. It's another aspect of spider energy as well, which speaks of the connectivity of all relationships and events, right? Every action we do reverberates in all directions of time and space within that cosmic web. And I'm only going there because I know, as my fellow Aquas, you can get down with the tripation of it. It's like, oh, you want to go trippy? You want to go there? Let's do it. Really, really interesting. Right. Wow. Page of Cups. Aw, more water here. I really like this. So Page of Cups, it's fascinating because, again, Page of Cups is by the ocean side traditionally. So it's really interesting with this oceanic theme coming through here for my Aquas. But Page of Cups is really about, it's that innocent beginner's love energy that has to do with, yes, your interpersonal relationships, but it's also about the work that you do from a place of this. It's that childhood energy, right? Of, I would do the work that I do even if I didn't get paid for it. I would do the work that I do, like, regardless of whatever success did or didn't come of it, because when I do it, time flies and I feel fulfilled, right? It's that kind of energy. When someone is able to engage in work, right, from a Page of Cups viewpoint, as it were, not only is it work that is going to be wildly successful because they don't have an attachment. They're not bringing an adult, quote, energy. Oh, where the wild things are. Got it. It's clicking in bit by bit, people. It's going to be successful because they don't have an attachment. They're not coming at it from a place of like, I'm doing this so that this happens. I'm doing this to make this amount of money. I'm doing this to pay off this. It's, I'm doing this because it comes from my heart and soul. And when I do it, I'm a child again. Or when I do it, I feel like a child. Time flies and I'm just completely in the present moment of what I'm doing. That's the love of it. So when someone is doing work that is within that Page of Cups context, again, not only is it going to be wildly successful, but because they're doing it from a place of no expectation whatsoever and from the love. When something is done from a love place, like purely for the love of it, that is the key. That is the key to manifesting on levels that are just, well, that are far and beyond what you could otherwise, right? Which is interesting with that ship in a bottle. It's interesting because that ship doesn't belong in that bottle. That's restricted. It's cramped. It's not supposed to be in a bottle. It's supposed to be on the open sea, right? But only by allowing yourself to rest it and take a step away was it able to find where it was meant to be and then be in the water and grow, right? There's something in that. What is the wild aspect of yourself calling for or directing you to do? Is your wild self. And what do I mean by wild self? When I think about where the wild things are, like the kid in that is Max, right? And the wild things are is an aspect of his highest and most imaginative reality. It's an escape for him, a place where he can go and be the ruler of his own kingdom. What is that for you? Right? Something in that. Right. Let's see what else is going on. Definitely something in that. Oh, wow. 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 It's 3 wows for 1. Okay, we got 2 for 1 here, and I'm really here for it. And here we go. 6 of Pentacles is the first one I'm going to show you because the second one is a bit of a grand finale. So 6 of Pentacles is so gorgeous because, first of all, it's monetary abundance, which, okay, thank you, done. But also, look at these pentacles with the star on it. Is that not reflective of the starfish? Hello? You know, 6 of Pentacles is very much about give and take. It's about reciprocity, but it is also, and I feel like what it's commenting on in this context is you are going to get back what you put in. That's it. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. Don't worry about that. Like, that is what it is. That is the law of energy. It's physics. It's truth. That's what it is. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. But we know, as spiritual beings having a human experience, that it's not just about what we put into it in terms of time or finances. It's also what we put into it in terms of love. I know it's like a bit tropey, but we have the Lover's key here and the Page of Cups, and I really feel that. Where's the love in what you're doing? This feels very familiar. This came up recently. I know this came up recently. Was this in a recent reading? I don't know. Help me out in the comments. But this feels, I'm having a deja vu. Where's the love in what you're doing? Because it's the love that you put into something along with everything else. What you put in, you're going to get back. Does that make sense? If you're putting love into what you're doing, then what comes back to you is going to be of that same love vibration. You're going to attract people who can help you further, who really love what you do, right? Like attracts like. So if you're really coming from that love place in everything that you do, it's only going to breed more of that same energy. It's really stunning. Also, bull energy. There's an aspect of bull energy that is very King of Pentacles / the Emperor, which is about, yes, everything being a certain way as it should be, right? Everything is order in the court. But there's an aspect of that that says, that no, like you've worked for this, your time has come, and this is in alignment with your focus and your desire and your karma and everything else that goes into that. So there's something about that, right? And I like how this capybara is like immersed in the water with this red bird on top. And we saw, you know, that creature from Where the Wild Things Are, like taking that by the seaside. There's something in that for you. We also got the World. Hello! Another major arcana, but not just that. It's the last key in the major arcana sequence, which is about victory, success, completion, awards, accolades, all of the abundance, extravaganza, eleganza. It's everything good. It's like, yes, I did it. I completed this. I got it. I woohoo! It's that feeling, right? So the World key, especially the fact that we have a bee in the center of this, which is a 3 of Pentacles energy, which is about the work that you do that you in particular are good at. It's the master artisan energy of the 3 of Pentacles, where what do you do to leave your mark on the world through the work that you do? That's the master artisan aspect of it with that 3 of Pentacles energy. You are going to be seen, respected, awarded for, compensated for the work that you specifically are good at, done through the lens of your particular point of view, like no one else can see it. And then imbued with all of the love that you put into it, because you're doing something that you would do even if you didn't get paid for it. And that's why you're going to get paid for it, like on a like a more fully realized grand scale even. You know, also this grasshopper down here is Fool energy, which is, this is really brilliant, this deck. This deck is also by MJ Cullinane, who makes the Crow Tarot. And the Fool energy, right? So we have a nod to the beginning of the major arcana sequence with the Fool, right? And then here to the beginning. So there's something that began that you're really bringing into completion here. And why do I feel like there's going to be aspects of this that are going to come about in a more pronounced way if you honor the callings within you to maybe do less at certain points, or know when to take a break, or know when to get out of your head and into the water. Because that ship in a bottle, there was air in that bottle, and that wasn't working. It had to be exposed to the water, right? Hello. Let's go ahead and get some advice. This is really cool, though. I'm here for it. Okay, advice for my fellow Aquarius. Oh, hello. Hello. Very good. Oh, we have more. Is that literally? Okay. I knew there's a reason I wanted to use this deck for the advice today. Is that literally like not an ocean side right there? Like I saw in the meditation. Really, really beautiful. So let's just, okay, just go with me here because this is really amazing. First of all, traditionally speaking, the moon is Piscean energy, but it's also the ruling sign of Cancer. We're talking about Cancerian season. Now, within this, the moon traditionally is about embracing the unknown. It's about unknown potentials. It's about the mystery of life. It's about the questions, which ties it back to the Hermit. But it's also about psychic information. And then also, you know, the aspects of, you know, what is hidden will come to light in its good time, just like the phases of the moon move in their own timing. So I feel like there's an aspect of like trusting the natural cycles as they are. But here's what I'm really obsessed with. Do you not see this like very large walrus like walking with this man here? First of all, do they not look like the sweetest odd couple? But also, do you remember when I saw that creature from Where the Wild Things Are? Like on the seaside. And then we have like a creature that could very much fit into Where the Wild Things Are, like walking with this man. It's really beautiful, but this is such an Aquarius energy here. It really, really is, like in every way. First of all, we have the stars in the sky in the shape of wolves. Actually, that's a wolf and a dog, right? Constellations in the sky with the stars up here, right? The wolf energy is very much Hierophant energy, which is Taurus energy, everything being exactly as it's meant to be, right? Dog energy is very much about loyalty and compassion and generosity. These things are informing you, and this is part of what's going to bring about what is yours to successful completion and fulfillment, right? It's, again, the love that you put into it. Now, what's really interesting here as well is that there's under the moon, like walking along the seaside, and there's this aspect here of being outside of time or space. Again, with the moon here with the Hermit, right? And then you have, come on now, come with me now, another moon here, even in the Page of Cups. So it's really interesting given this context of really not just appreciating when this comes forward as advice, what I'm getting is to really appreciate where you are outside of any expectation or overthinking. You can be a water bearer, right? And walk on the land under the stars and in the night air, as it were. But like, be on the seaside, be near and in that water, right? Which is going to allow you to flow and also to release control, because water as a symbol is very much about releasing control and embracing the unknown. The ocean, if you think about the ocean, that is a symbol of the unknown. If you think about the ocean as it's, you know, in the context of the greatest pieces of literature, like just think about Moby Dick. You know what I mean? Think about Old Man and the Sea, Hemingway. Think about how the ocean is in these like great pieces of literature, and then think about what it represents, because that's really coming forward. It's the great unknown. But no one sets off on a ship. Oh, I guess that came to mind too because of the ship in a bottle, right? So let's go with it. Old Man and the Sea and Moby Dick. There's an aspect of that of, you know, I'm hearing a quote. One does not discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore for a very long time. I'm hearing this as well. But ultimately, when this comes up as your advice, it's really about embracing the unknown and really opening yourself up to whatever this is, coming in whatever time it wants to, and showing up in whatever form it's meant to. And if you can truly do that, you are going to truly be able to enjoy walking under a full moon, like in the ocean air, like on the beach, right? This is a gift that you are able to give to yourself, to really not just embrace the unknown, but to really bask in that time before you get what you want and before you have the answers. Stunning. Let's get an oracle. Which one? I'm feeling the Cletbaron read. Let's do this one. Get an oracle from Aquarius. Oh, really? I'm here for it. This one too. Okay, right. Feeling this one on the bottom as well. Okay, so first we have the Spirit Whisperer. Hello. Divine guidance, higher knowing. We were just talking about the intuition and the moon, right? Actually, on the Lisa Robertson Animal Tarot deck, which I use most of the time, the moon is shown, but is depicted through an owl. So an owl is another aspect of the moon, intuition, clear seeing. It is, associated with the nighttime, being able to see clearly in the darkness. So it's interesting this is coming up for us again as well. But divine guidance, higher knowing. We were just talking about that, about really following the aspects of yourself. What is your wild self asking for? When you get out of your head and into your heart, what are you really being called to do with and for yourself? It feels incredibly important, right? I feel like the higher knowing is also the key to having a good time, because that can get us out of our heads as well. Out of your head and into your intuition, really, right? Because if you can look up at the sky and see the wolf and the dog under the moon, and you know that everything is going to come to you and be exactly as it's meant to be, because what you've put into it is the love and compassion and heart, then you're going to have a good time, right? You can enjoy this time. The River Queen. Interesting. Flow, letting go, natural movement. I cannot tell you. Like, the key word for July is flow, darlings. Like, I just wrote that in my newsletter. It's really, really perfect. Then we have this like oceanic mermaid goddess coming up out of the water. It's very oceanic, right? All she needs is two starfish over here underneath her décolletage. So flow, letting go, natural movements. It's a river queen, but we'll go with it. This is very much about allowing yourself to just receive things in divine timing without any expectation of when or how it shows up. Knowing, trusting, believing, and claiming that what is yours is going to come to you as it's meant to be, when it's meant to be. And you really don't want it a second sooner or to come any differently than how, the divine is going to bring this to you. And when I say the divine, we're also looking at an aspect of your higher self that can see clearly in all directions of time and space. So allow that higher aspect of yourself to direct the show at some point. At some point, and this is the last point of manifesting that we're talking about, at some point in the show, right? You've got to step to the side and allow the higher aspects of yourself that can see more clearly, your ancestors, your guides, the universe, your star people, whatever this is for you, to come in and direct the show at the last stage. You've done all you can do, is what I'm hearing. So go take a nap on the beach, and then when you wake up, it'll be there for you. But I really want to take that literally, but it's really, really beautiful, Aquas. It really, really is. It's really, really beautiful. And this is also the way to a good time. Also with the stars in the sky and the sea here. It says the river, but this is an ocean. It's really, really beautiful, Aquas. Really, really beautiful.